Hey there, Lauren here with the YMCA's Nutrition Outreach Program, and today I am showing you different techniques on how to cut fruits and vegetables. The first thing, before anything, is to know how to use a knife. While you're chopping, you want to make sure that your hand is close to the blade at the top of the handle rather than far back, and this will give you more control while you're chopping. And I'll show you this as I go. But the hand that isn't chopping, you want to make sure that you protect it. And so rather than having your fingers like this while chopping, you want to curl them under in order to protect those. And you also want to make sure you have a flat surface on that fruit or vegetable, and I'll go through that as well. So there's lots of different techniques that are shown in recipes, and sometimes it can get confusing on what you need to do in preparing that fruit or vegetable. So the first thing is sliced, and that's pretty simple. So I'm going to use an apple today. So in order to slice it, you'll just start on the edge here. Remember, I have my fingers curled. I'm just going to slice from the edge, and you'll want, usually when something calls for a fruit or vegetable to be sliced, you'll just want thin slices of most of that fruit or vegetable you can get. So there you go. There are some thin slices of apples. You may also be asked to slice cucumbers or carrots or zucchini, and you'll do the same thing with that. Next is Julienne, and this is a technique that creates little matchsticks of whatever fruit or vegetable that you're cutting. So I'm going to cut a chunk off of this zucchini here. Like I mentioned, you want to be working off of a flat surface when you're chopping, and I want the zucchini to be this way. So I'm going to cut off a very slim bottom here so that I have a flat surface while I'm chopping. So first I'm going to do some slices of zucchini. And then to get that matchstick, you'll turn them on top of each other and you'll just slice this way. This is a technique you may use a lot to make some sort of slaw with carrots, or you could even use for stir fries. So there's Julienne. I'm also going to use this zucchini again to show you a half moon. So this is typically used for fruits and vegetables that are round. So again, squash or zucchini, carrots. So I'll cut this again. And all you have to do is cut it in a half moon and then make slices from there. So there you have it. One cut that you may not hear of often is chiffonade. And this is similar to the Julienne cut that I used here for the zucchini, but it is more typically used for leafy green vegetables or herbs. So I have sage here. I'm going to cut off the stems. And then with chiffonade, all you have to do is you'll layer all of your greens. So I have some sage leaves layered here. And then you'll roll it up. And the idea is to get long slivers of that green. And so you'll slice along just how you did the sliced apples. And then when they come out, you have these long, similar to the matchstick, but long pieces of that green. So in case you ever come across a recipe that calls for a chiffonade green, that's what you should get. These are really nice. This is a nice technique to use for any type of recipe that maybe calls for fresh herbs to toss in at the end of the cooking process. All right, and next is I'm going to talk about crushing and mincing. This is typically just used for garlic. So I have a fresh garlic bulb here, and I'm going to take out a few cloves. Now to get crushed and minced garlic, you can very easily buy these in jars already done in the store. However, I always suggest using fresh garlic when you can. because there's actually an antioxidant, a strong antioxidant found in garlic, and once garlic has been opened and chopped, that antioxidant starts degrading. So I like to think that using fresh garlic will provide you a higher amount of that antioxidant, and will also bring a lot more flavor and potency to your dish. Especially if you really like garlic, I suggest using fresh. So with the crush, really doing anything with fresh garlic, you'll use 1 clove and you want to smash it so you can get that outer shell off. So you just put your knife on top and smash it down, and that can help you peel the skin off around the clove much easier. And with crush, it's pretty self-explanatory. You just want to crush that bulb of garlic. And so by crushing it, it kind of opens up the juices and the oils to come out. And so that is crushed garlic. Minced garlic, again, I'm going to take the skin off. And then you are going to chop this little bulb into the smallest pieces that you can. You're going to need to be really careful with your fingers because it is a small food that you're working with. But if you really just kind of slice along one side as much as you can, again, trying to make sure you have, even with a small piece of garlic, having that flat surface. You'll kind of get some longer pieces and turn those and just kind of slice along through. I won't finish all of that, but that is how you get some minced garlic. So very small. There are kitchen gadgets you can buy as well that'll help you get a good mince if you would prefer to do that as well. Place that there. All right. And so the last 3 techniques I'm going to go through can oftentimes be thought of as the same thing, but really there's going to be a difference in size. So that's dice, chop, and cube. So with dicing, I'm going to use this celery here, and that's going to be the smallest chop that you're doing with the knife. And so with celery, I cut off the ends here. You can kind of cut down the middle to have an easier piece to work with. So dice, it's not going to be as small as mince, but you're going to want to cut it as small as you can. So I'm going to actually cut this piece in half again and work with these 2 together and just do some small chops. You'll often be doing this with onions as well in recipes. And so that is a dice. So it's going to be a small cut. And then moving up to a chop, maybe rather than cutting these 2 in half like I did for the dice, you'll just leave this as its original size and chop. So it's going to be a little bit bigger. So there's chop. And last is cube, and I'm going to use a sweet potato for this. What's really important for the dicing, chopping, and cubing is to make sure that all of the pieces end up the same size, especially when you're roasting vegetables. So that's why I chose a sweet potato, because oftentimes we're roasting potatoes or beets, other root vegetables, and if you cut them at different sizes, then some pieces will cook faster than others, and some may become burned, or some come out that aren't quite ready to be eaten yet. So you want to make sure that no matter what you're doing, they all come out the same size. So with the sweet potato, I'm going to cut down the middle here. Again, working on a flat surface. And the cubing, you can, if you want to make it a larger piece, you can do that. You can make it a smaller cube, but it is going to be a little bit bigger than chopped. And you're just going to slice on through. So you got these two. So you can see, compared to chopped, these are going to be a little bit bigger and mostly in the same size. So there you have it. There's some different techniques for you to use with recipes that you're using fruits and vegetables in. Stay tuned for more videos, and for more information on our nutrition program, please visit ymcawnc.org/nutrition.